Welcome everyone. Today we are going to learn about basic Java programming, and we will learn the core concepts of Java programming under 60 minutes. Let's start. This is IDE, Eclipse IDE, meaning Eclipse Integrated Development Environment. We will code our Java program here, and this is Project Explorer window, and this is our console window where we can see our inputs. We can create Java project clicking here, okay, or we can also create our Java project from here. Go to File, okay, hover over on New, then just click on Java project, and name of the Java project should be capital Basic Java. Then just click on Next, and again click on Finish. Basic Java project has been created, and inside the project we have JRE system library, Java Runtime Environment System library, that will execute our Java program. And we have also SRC source folder. This is empty source folder, and inside this folder we will create package. To create it, I have to click on SRC folder, then right button click, then go to package and click on it. And package is nothing but an empty folder once again, and this is basic Java, okay. And we have created basic Java package, and inside the package we create class. Name of the class must be in capital Cap. I can name it as person, say for example, and just click on Finish, okay. Now name of our package is basic Java, okay, and public is keyword in Java. It is access modifier, public, private, or there can be 4 types of access modifier. We will learn it later. Then class is also a keyword, and person is name of our class. To create a class we must use class keyword, okay. It can be public or private or protected. That really matters a lot. Let's now start with public keyword, then class keyword. We use it to create a class, okay, and we already create a class, and name of the class is person, okay. Then opening curly braces and closing curly braces. Inside the class, whatever we write, whatever code we write, whatever program we do, everything within the class scope, okay. Class scope, okay. And inside the class scope, what we do, we type main, then control, we hit control spacebar, okay, and public static void main parenthesis. Inside the parenthesis we have string, then square braces, arcs, curly braces, opening and closing curly braces. Just I press on enter and it has been auto completed. This is the main method, and it is the entry point of any Java programming. Okay, now whatever code we write, we will write inside this main method. Okay, now we can write string, okay, string name equal to, it can be any name like Peter. Okay, then integer age can be 21. Now look very carefully. This is Peter and we mark it inside inverted comma because it is written in string characters, P-E-T-E-R. These are characters or letters. That is called string. Okay, one of the data types in Java, primitive data types, Peter. And this is integer. What type of data is it? It is integer, so we write int, then age equal to 20, name equal to Peter. These are called variable. Variables are nothing but container, okay, that stores data. Containers are boxes, containers that stores data, and data can be string, data can be integer, data can be boolean, just true and false, and many more. Okay, we will learn about data types later. So this is variable, age also variable, and inside the age we store 21, integer type of data, and inside the name variable we store Peter, and this is string type of data. And now we can print it. I just type C, so control spacebar, hit control spacebar, and it has been auto completed. Okay, and I just want to print name. Okay, then again I type C, so then hit control spacebar, and I want to print age. Now when I execute, just right button click, run as Java application, I execute name and age. I can say my friend's name is plus name and he is okay. I can execute it from here. My friend's name is Peter. He is 21. And not only that, even I can print it together. My friend's name is name, and he is age. All right. I can also execute it from here, run person, and we can see now 3 outputs. And if we want, we can run it from run also. Just I click here, then click on run. And another way we can run, we can click on the Java file, right button click, and run as Java application. So we can run our Java program from 4 different places. Okay, now in Java, these are called comments. I can write a note, just double slash, then whatever I write inside double slash, it will not be executed. Even we can also multi-comments. Multi-comments are slash, star, and star slash. Okay, I can say there are 8 primitive data types in Java. Okay, if we go to data types, we can see different data types. One is, we already know, strings. Okay, strings are like hello. Okay, and integer, int, like any complete number. Okay, full number. It can be 10, it can be 20, it can be 100, etc. And float, number can be floating number, like 5.5, 10.5, etc. And it can be also double, okay, and it can be character. We know character is just, say for example, ABC. Okay, then it can be boolean. Boolean can be yes or just no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there is also bytes and short. and we have another one that is long. Okay, now we are not going to discuss all of this, just we are going to discuss this few data types today. Maybe later on we will discuss about double, byte, short, and long in detail. Okay, now we are going to discuss with if else, Java conditions, and if statements. Okay, we can use these conditions to perform different actions for different decisions. So for example, I can say let's create another class, and name of the class is conditions. Okay, and inside the condition I just want to take main method. I just type main, then hit Ctrl spacebar, then press enter, and I just type if 50 is greater than 30. Of course it is greater. Okay, 30. If 50 is greater than 30, it is greater than 30, obviously. I'll print "50 is greater." Okay, and right button click, run as Java application, and 50 is greater. But if it is 300, if the condition is true, it will be printed 50 is greater, but if the condition is false, it will not be printed. Now it didn't print anything because 50 is not greater than 300. Okay, then I have to say else. Okay, else CISO Control spacebar 300 is greater. Okay, now this if block, this block has a scope from this opening curly braces to closing curly braces, and this is else block. Okay, so if 50 is greater than 300, print this. It doesn't match, the condition doesn't match, the condition is false, so if block is not being printed. Since else block met the condition, okay, so it is being printed. If this met the condition, print if block. It is not meeting the condition, so it is going to print else block. Okay, right button click, run as Java application, and 300 is greater. All right, so this is a conditional statement in Java, and now we are going to learn a little bit about loops in Java. Okay, we are going to create another class, and name of the class is loops in loops. And now I'm not going to write main method, so I just check in and it will automatically be written for us. You see, I don't need to write it anymore. I just check in public static void main and it has been automatically written for me. Loops can execute a block of code as long as a specific condition is met or reached. Loops are handy because they save time, reduce errors, and they make code more readable. And we have several types of loops in Java: while loop, for loop, and do while loop. We are just going to learn one loops right now, and this is while loop. While loop is just like this. Here will be condition, okay, and curly braces. Okay, now for example, I can say integer I equal to 0. Okay, and when the condition I is less than 10, okay, then print so control spacebar, print I. If I is less than 10, we know I is equal to 0. Definitely I is less than 10, so it will be printed, but it will also print increments. Okay, meaning the codes in the loop will run over and over again as long as the variable I, okay, variable I less than 10. Okay, so first time it will print, let's see, first time it prints I equal to 0. Second time it goes and check whether I is less than 10. Yes, 0 is less than 10, so it prints one increment, I plus plus, meaning 0 plus 1, then it becomes 1, and second time it's went and checked, 1 is less than 10, so it print again 1 plus 1, okay, and keep going until it reaches to I 9 is less than 10. Okay, and yes, it is 9. And when it will go and check 9 is less than 10, yes it is, but when it incremented, it becomes 10. I should be less than 10, so 10 is not less than 10, so 10 is not printed. But if you say less than equal to, okay, then it might print 10 also, because 10 is equal to 10. All right, so this is for loop, and later we will learn also while loop and do while loop too. Now we are going to learn about method. Okay, now in Java programming or any other programming, method is block of code. Okay, method is block of code, so I just write method or methods. Methods are block of code which only executes or run when it is called by name, and we can pass data into method, and methods are used to perform certain actions, and they are also known as functions. Okay, now say for example this is main method. Okay, and I want to create a method. Say for example void display name of the method, parenthesis, this is name of the method. Okay, curly braces, and I say CISO control spacebar, and I say I am method. I am display method, say for example. So when I right button click and run as Java application, we have main method, though it is not executed. I am display method is not executed because in our definition of method we came to know method is a block of code that only runs or executes when it is called by name. Now, if you want to execute it or run it, you have to call it by name. You have to call it by name. So I just copy it and paste here. So I'm calling it by name. Okay, now to call it, we cannot call it without creating object. Okay, so what we can do, static, when we use static keyword, meaning we don't need to create object, so the error gone. Okay, right button click, run as Java application, and now we will see I am display method. We call by name and now it is being executed. Okay, now method can be static void run method, say for example, So you can create n number method if it is necessary. So in your program, how many methods you will use, how many methods it will require for your program, you can decide. You can, if it is necessary, you can create 10 methods or 20 methods or 50 methods or even 100 methods. Okay, see, so now say this is run method. Okay, now if you run this program, it will only execute display method because we didn't call it. So to call it, we have to copy this name, or you can just type. Okay, then every Java code must be ended with semicolon. We call it termination. We have to terminate it with semicolon. Remember, this is run method. Okay, now very interesting, right? Now remember, this is methods. Now I want to copy it. Okay, copy these methods and want to paste in person. Okay, right here. And I want to keep this inside the class but outside of main method. Okay, so string name Peter, integer age 21, and I have two methods. Okay, and this is main method. Without main method, we cannot execute or run any Java program. So it is necessary. Okay, you can create class and keep codes separately, but to run your program, you must have create another class and main method in another class, then you can just call it. Now this name, now we cannot access it. Why? Because we haven't created any object. Without object, if we want to access it without object, then we have to either say static, okay, name, age, it should be static too. Now we are going to learn the core concepts of Java programming. Remember, every class or every object, class is nothing but a blueprint. Remember, class is nothing but a blueprint to create object. From one class we can create n number object. Okay, say for example we want to create a car. From a car class we can create n number object. Now class is blueprint to create object, and class is logical entity. It has only logic, but object is both logical and physical entity. What does it mean? Class has only logical entity, but object, when object is created, it has both logical and physical entity, means physical existence. Let me clarify why I'm saying so. Now we have name attributes, and value of name is Peter. Age attributes, and value is 21. These are variables, and variables contains data. Okay, data or value, whatever we say. Now this person can have states and behavior. So very important, try to understand. It has state and behavior. What are states? States are properties attributes, fields. Okay, so name is attribute, properties, field, ages, properties, attributes, fields. Okay, so if you now say this person can have Ian's salary 10,000, so for example USD, and this same person can have one more property or attribute or field, and that is string position or designation. And designation is software engineer, say for example. All right, so these are properties, attributes, fields of a person. At the same time, and these are called states of a person, and this person can have behaviors. Behaviors are methods, functions that shows capability or ability of this person, what he can do. It shows action, and these are display method, run method. These states action, behavior, methods, functions. Okay, So a class or object, whatever, it can have states and behavior. States and behavior. States are properties, attributes, fields, and behaviors are methods and functions. Okay, so what is class? Class is nothing but blueprints, and inside the class what we can have? We can have properties and methods. All right, so whenever you are asked in an interview, what is class? Class is nothing but a blueprint from which we can create object. Still, we haven't created any object. Now we are going to enter into the core Java concept. Okay, we already started core Java concept. One is every person, every object, every person, every car, or anything can have two specialities. One is states and another one is behaviors. States are properties, okay, attributes, fields, and behaviors are methods. You must know these two differences if you want to understand any programming language. Okay, now how we can access all these properties and method of this class person from this main method. How we can access? If I take out static, okay, I take out static, how we can access? Now you see we don't have any access inside the class. Everything will be now in red mark. You see, red mark, meaning we don't have access to this name and age anymore. To access all the properties or attributes or fields of this person class and also these methods, we have to create object. Like if I now try to access its display method is method of person class, we cannot access it. We have another method, this is run method, and we cannot access it. If you run the program now, look, exception in thread main java.lang.error, unresolved compilation problem. Okay, this is non-static field, so you cannot. Either you have to make it static if you want to create, because when we use static you don't need to create object. But since we remove static keyword, now we need to create object. How we can create object? Okay, what is object? object is instance of a class because object is created from class, and in definition of class we came to know class is nothing but a blueprint to create object. Okay, so what is the purpose of creating object? The purpose of creating object is to access, we don't have now access the properties and methods of the class. So we have class person, we need to create object for person class. How we create? When I type new and class person parenthesis semicolon, a new object has been created. Okay, now this is new object. Now I can create another object. I can create another object, n number object I can create. Okay, and we know class is physical logical entity and object is physical entity, meaning it has physical existence and logical existence too. Meaning when we have logical physical entity, physical existence, they are occupying some memory into our computer. Okay, so class doesn't take any memory inside the computer, but whenever we create object, they occupy memory into the computer. Now, how we can refer all this object? Now, to refer or control this object, we need actually a reference variable. Now I will write person, then p1, meaning this p1 is reference variable to new person object, and it will control remotely. Okay, instead of this new person we can use p1. Okay, so I can just copy and say and paste it and rename them. This is p2 object 2, object 3, object 4. A reference variable to new person p1, p2 is referring another object, p3 is reference variable to third object, and p4 is reference variable for fourth object. And thus we can create fifth object, person p5 new person semicolon. Now we have 5 objects, and these are reference variable to this object, reference variable to this another new kind of object. Okay, now you see I can now access using the reference variable to this object. How? I can just say p1 dot name, and now I can access it. I can say P2 or P1 name. I can say P1 H and P1. Now see, I can access the name, age from person class, and even I can access this P1, P2, P1. Okay, now let me see whether I can access. If it is printed here, I'm sure I can now. My friend's name is Peter and he is 21. It's Peter, and okay, I just want to make space here. Okay, and there are two more sentences here, statements. Okay, thus again, if I want to access all this, even I can. Now we can access name properties and age properties from person class. Okay, we can access, and if we want, we can access also salary designation. Okay, so for example, salary and designation, I can make another salary, like for P2 I can say salary cell equal to 12,000. Okay, and what do we have? Designation is teacher. Say for example, P2 is designation. Designation is not software engineer, it's teacher. Say for example, and we can access now. See, so control spacebar, and I can say my name is P2.name. Okay, and see, so I make P2 salary USD per year, say for example. Okay, I am P2 designation and I make. Okay, I hope. What's wrong with designation? Designation. Let's check. Designation. Okay, it's okay. Then just run it. I am teacher and I make $12,000 per year. Fantastic. This way we can also assign different salary structure designation for P3 object. Okay, this is object, this is reference variable. It's referring to this object. So this is object and it's referring to this object, so we can also say this is also object. Okay, it's referring to this object, referring to this object. It's just, I can say it's a reference variable. Okay, referring this object. Now even I can change the name. I can say p2.name equal to, it's not Peter, this is David. I am David, say for example. Okay, and same way even we can change everything for P3. It's not David, it's, say for example, Anushka, and salary is even more. Not teacher, not engineer, she is professor. Okay, thus you can redefine. Okay, reassign. So you can do the same for P4, and thus you can access all the properties and methods. All right, so today we learn basic Java, how we can declare and define variable. Okay, how we can use conditional statements, how we can loop through, how we can create methods and properties, and how we can also create class, and from class how we can create object. Okay, and creating object, how we can access all the methods and properties of any class. Okay, even if you want to inherit, okay, the core concepts in Java also, we do have object-oriented programming, and object-oriented programming has 4 principles, and one of them is very, very important, inheritance. Another one is polymorphism, abstraction, and encapsulation. Okay, we will learn step by step. Okay, even if you want to inherit, you can inherit it from teacher. You can create another class, student can inherit from teacher class. Now we don't have anything here. Now just you can say extends. To inherit we need to use extends keyword, teacher. Now teacher. So to inherit, what we need to create, we call it child class, and this is parent class. base class. Okay, and what we can do, we can create object for student s1 and new student. Okay, and we can access teacher, sorry, it's not teacher, person class. Okay, person, and I can access, we don't have properties and methods for student till now. I can access, I can say s1 dot name. Okay, and if I run it, I have Peter. Okay, so I can access using extends keyword, and we can access whatever we have in person class, properties and method. Even if I want to access method, I can just say s1 display, right? Display method. You see, I can access it. What is inside display method? I am display method. Even if I have here int age 30, okay, and I have also void another method teach, say for example, or read, student read, study, whatever. See, so I am student. Okay, you can access it. This one read. So we can access the methods from student class and also can access from person class. Using extends keyword, we are accessing all the properties and methods from person. All right, now the benefits of inheritance is we can avoid a repetition of codes or program. Thus we can save our time, and time is money. Okay, later on we will be learning object-oriented programming in detail, and actually we will be learning Java programming from scratch. Okay, step by step. I'm just giving an overview of Java programming. Many people believe only computer background students can learn it, but in practical anyone can learn it. If you have interest in programming, if you really want to learn it, anyone can learn it. Okay, and in just 10 days training, 10 days to 30 days training, you can pick up Java object-oriented programming. I just teach in just 1 hour the core concept of programming, and if you practice only this another 10 days, definitely you will be able to program. Okay, and we will be teaching you HTML, CSS in just 1 hour. You need basic HTML and CSS to create web pages and websites. Okay, and in 7 to 10 days program, every single day you will be attending 2 hours classes or 1 hour, and practice another 2-3 hours. And after 10 days program, you can get an intern. Paid intern job as a software engineer. We will be teaching you HTML, CSS, little SQL, and Java. Okay, and definitely Git and GitHub. Okay, you will have strong foundation in software development and software engineering, and in just 30 days you can land paid internship job as software engineer. Okay, and we just charge very minimum fees. Okay, and make it affordable for anyone. If you are interested to join the program, you can go to this YouTube channel. Okay, paid IT job training. Click on about section, and here is our Gmail address. You can contact with us. Okay, after 3 to 6 months internship, you will be in the job training for 3 to 6 months, and after 3 to 6 months you will be a complete software engineer, and you will be a full-time software engineer. Okay, read this and watch this video. Try to understand it. If you understand it, you can make it. Alright, that's all for today. See you in the next session.